So I think that just by dint of us being, a female-fronted band, not only that, but a lesbian-fronted band, it's like, it's my existence is political, unfortunately, and right. I'm not the only person in our band, that's not just, a heterosexual, white person. Like we have other marginalized identities in our band, so it's like just by dint of us not all being straight white guys, I think we, whether or not you want to, people look at you away, make assumptions or have feelings immediately. Like just walking down the street, somebody might hate you.
Kelly and Amitai of Thrash Course, you both seem pretty chill, pretty relaxed. We're talking on what I hope is a beautiful Wednesday afternoon for you. It's nice and hot here in Toronto. How are you doing today?
It's brutally hot here. I hate it. It's
very hot. Yeah.
Summer is not for me. I did not move to the Pacific Northwest for sun. Please and thank you.
I'm having a great day. I'm not working today. I'm feeling great.
There you go. Awesome. Did you, Amitai, are you native to the Pacific Northwest, or did you also move there just like Kelly in order to find colder weather?
I was born and raised in the Chicago area, and in my 20s I moved out here, and I loved the music scene out here, and I didn't mind the weather. The weather was mild, and the people were cool. So.
There you go. Awesome. So let's go straight into it with probably the most important questions. We've seen demos of you guys. We've seen a live album recording as well that's available. The debut proper album. I know you're working on it.
Yes.
Let's go straight into it. When can we expect what?
Oh my gosh. So the music has been done since last September, I think, or last October. And I am the holdup, unfortunately, because I need to do the vocals and I just haven't. Life has been pretty brutal. And I mean that globally and personally, but
right.
It's my goal to have it done within the next few months. We're working with Jonathan Wade, who is the guitarist and I think like the principal songwriter and vocalist for a band here called Nerve Damage. He runs a production studio, basically kind of a one-man army called Pestilent Path Productions, and he's a sweetheart, genius, and he recorded all the guys live in his home studio back in September or October. And yeah, we just didn't have time to do my vocals, and I was like, well, I have my little sound booth at home, I can just do it, bang it out, no problem. And then it was like trial after trial, and it just hasn't happened yet.
But it will. It's quite an undertaking for that Kelly's doing right now with the vocals, recording it kind of DIY.
Right.
So yeah, we're all in it together though, and I think that in a couple of months everything's going to be recorded, and I'll bet you 2026 is pretty much a sure thing. I mean,
oh yeah. Well, I hope to have it done by the end of this year, and then hopefully have like an album release show or something early next year.
If we can get it in 2025 is possible, but you never know.
But the guys were amazing. Amitai and Elliot, our drummer, Darren, our bassist, and Mike, our rhythm guitarist, they went in the studio and played it all live in the room together for like 10 hours and got the whole thing done. And it's like 9 tracks. One of them is 10 minutes long. And to be able to do that so consistently to the point where all, it's all live, it's all happening together. There's no going back or doing anything. I think they maybe fixed a couple things here and there that were DI, but like other than that, the whole room was mic'd. It was really, really cool.
It was awesome. It was a very, very fun day, and it was so tiring though. And and yes, admittedly, I did some recording afterwards in my room of some of my own tracks, some of the guitar solos.
Right.
Our buddy Mike also came over and did 1 or 2 solos after the fact as well. So not absolutely everything happened live, but the bulk of it was live. It was so much fun. It was so cool. John is awesome. John Wade is an awesome dude.
People that have checked out the band know that the demo compilation release is all instrumentals. Is that just because you guys were sick and tired of waiting on Kelly to record vocals?
No.
Or like, is this album just gonna come out as another instrumental album in 2 years from now? Like,
That would be such a flex. I would love if the band revolted and they were like, you know what, we're putting it out, we don't care.
Entirely new tracks, entirely new songs too. No, the demo was put together. First, the core of the demo was a recording done with Elliot and myself several years ago, like many years ago, and then with me and Mike adding things to it. It kind of evolved over a couple of years, and it was, for example, what I was showing people when we were looking for a vocalist. It's what we gave to Kelly when we met her. So no, it's definitely its own thing, and it was the sort of like bait. That was my way of baiting people into this project.
right.
Yeah, building a band is not easy. It really is not, and especially if you're an adult with responsibilities of any kind, you know.
Right.
So
let's pick on to that or jump into that, because what you say, like, you know, building a band is not easy, and part of that is building an identity as a band and building a sound as a band. And you know, from what I've heard, and I've had a chance to listen to, you know, some additional tracks as well by now, which is really cool. Your sound, you know, brings a lot of different elements together. Is that by design, or is that at this point, hey, we are in the grand scheme of things a new, younger band still? Is this a sign of a band still finding its musical identity, or do you want to make sure that every band can be kind of like a bit of a surprise? Where, I mean, obviously, I'm not expecting you guys to do, you know, a jazz or a country song all of a sudden, but you know, it's rock music, but within every song you kind of take us on a roller coaster where we get 90s alternative, where we get hardcore vibes, we get some proggy thrash, like all of that kind of comes together. Is that by design, or is that because you're kind of still figuring out where are we going with this?
Yeah, Amitai, what do you think?
I think that's the idea. Yeah, I've always been a fan of many different kinds of music. I have many different types of influences. Not every single pocket of music, you know, like I would say that it's rock and metal, and then it's like classical music and stuff like that, and a little bit of like funk rock, funk blues stuff, you know, and it's just, there's too much good stuff out there not to take influence from a lot of different things. You know, I don't want to just be a metal band. I don't want to just be a punk band. I mean, why? You know, there's so many great metal bands and so many punk bands. You know, what can we offer? You know, with this group of people? You know, we have, you know, it starts, you know, Mike, Elliot, and myself. What do we have to offer? Darren, what does he have to offer? Kelly, what does she have to offer? We're not just a metal band. I mean,
yeah. Kelly, I feel like you want to jump in here.
Yeah, really, it's, I don't know, I think it's so cliche and like whatever to be like, I don't know, we're just kind of different, man. We just don't really fit in. But I think that we come from really disparate places musically. Right. Like Elliot, you know, played a couple of, you know, punk stuff like Blink-182 and Green Day was like the heaviest he did, but he's like a folk guy. He does like jazz drumming, and like it's so cool going to like, you know, be on death metal bills and doing stuff and being like, what the hell is your drummer doing? I'm like, I don't know, but it's awesome because he's like doing stuff that they don't do, right? Like,
there's not,
you know,
and there's not another band like it.
I know, it's like there's no shade on blast beats. I love a blast beat. Let's do that for 27 minutes. Great. But like the way that he switches up rhythms, and because he's not like, I mean, I love him, but he's not a super great double kick guy yet. He's working on it. But because he's not, that's the move, right? Like we've prescribed that if we're doing heavier music, we're going to have a double kick. So say we all. It forces him to do things more, and it's not even forcing. He just automatically does stuff that's a little more out there. Like it's a little weirder.
Just try to follow his arms. Just try to follow them. You can't.
It's insane. So So having him have like those influences, Mike is pretty much the more straightforward thrash guy. I think, like, you know, coming like Exodus, Metallica, but also like Opeth and Tool. Like I think we're all very into Tool as far as like that's where most of the prog influence will come from. And Darren and I are like, new metal idiots. Like that's where we came into metal from, was from,
Right.
unfortunately from new metal as teenagers, so it's like we are constantly like, let's bring they start saying numbers and I just tune out. That's like the running joke is like Amitai and Elliot and Mike will start saying numbers and I'm like, I don't understand and I don't care. Where's the downbeat? And I'm just like, can I please have a breakdown? Can we make it swing a little bit more? Because I want, just like groovy, easy metal. And I also want deathcore to slam me into a wall. So it's like, like we just run the gamut of things.
So,
and I think it really helps us 5 opposing pretty much ideas really come together in a way that's not going to be the same every time. And
Right.
yeah, as far as if we are going to find a groove as to a little more cohesiveness, maybe, but like I think we're all always going to want kind of different things, but we respect that about it, right? Like we're all going to throw our stuff into the soup and it's going to be weird at the end, but good.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So with what you say now, and also like the from songs that I've heard, you can take a show in different ways as well. You already mentioned like, we can be on a death metal bill. Absolutely, you can be on a death metal bill, you can be on a hardcore bill, you can be on an alternative rock bill. Does that mean that you also like, do you cater the set to the bill and to the audience? Like if you know that you're supporting a death metal band, are you going to play a different set than if you're supporting a 90s alternative rock band? And maybe to make this question a two-parter, what should we expect from the show coming up for the Femme Fatale Fest, where you've got a super eclectic mix of bands?
That's for Kelly.
I think yes, our catalog isn't super deep at the moment. We we are all in our late 30s, 40s, not to give it away, sorry. But we all have full-time jobs. And so, we make a point to try to practice every week at minimum, but it's still hard to write new material as well as playing shows at the clip we have been. We've been playing shows at least 2 or 3 times a month sometimes. Like it's been pretty nonstop. So we're trying to focus more on writing. All that to say, yes, I think we would definitely and have catered our shows more. If it's a heavier bill, we're going to play our heaviest songs, right? And if it's something like the Femme Fatale Fest, which is like a great mix of music, we do have like a ballad song where it's singing, unfortunately, because I'm not the best singer, but like we're going to play that song, which is great because we don't always play it. And we have this like 10-minute epic song that we, with a 30-minute set, you're going to sacrifice a lot of things to play that. But if that's what fits the bill more dynamically, or is going to work well, or even just like have that opportunity because it is such a rad song, we definitely cater it to the bill we're on. And Portland is really good. Oh, I'm about to go on a jag. Can I go on a jag? It's only 2 minutes.
Go for it. I'm timing you.
Okay, great. So Portland is really good about mixed bills. Let me just tell you quickly that Portland is the heavy music hub of America. That is not me being a stand for Portland, of which I am. We have more between punk, hardcore, and metal bands. We have more than any other city in the country. We are second behind only in the world, like the Scandinavian countries, because you're just not going to beat them. But like per capita, we have the most heavy music. We have 70 plus venues, over 150 heavy bands, close to 200 actively playing bands. So there's not a night of the week that you can't find an excellent bill. And it's not only that we have them, they're all great musicians. Like we are fighting for eyeballs because the scene is so deep and so good here. So if you live anywhere near Portland and you like heavy music, the scene is good, the scene is strong, please come support local music because something very cool is happening here and has been for the last couple of years. And I'm just like, don't be one of those talking heads that's sad in some documentary 20 years from now that was like, I could have been there, I lived there, why didn't I do that? You can right now, please. And the Femme Fatale Fest is one of those things. Excellent musicians. Twilight is an excellent venue. I think that's it. I think that's done. What was the question?
We're actually not going to play the 10-minute song. We're going to start with what is one of my favorite little intros, a melodic segment that comes from an 80s video game, which I used to play a lot of 80s and 90s video games when I was a kid, and it has influenced my music as well. So we start with a sort of epic little 2 minutes of that kind of music, followed by the song from Wreckage that you heard already, which is it's a fun little heavy song, It's actually not just a little song, it's kind of a big song, 5 minutes long there. And then we're going to play Protest, which I kind of think of that as like our fanfare heavy, slower beat, gets people kind of just wanting to sort of like march around.
So you're making her happy.
Yeah, exactly. Then we'll do another kind of like another sort of musical cross section, which you've heard actually. It's sort of like another melodic but heavy piece, and then a very fast, punky, aggressive song called Shivans. Then we're gonna do, I believe, our ballad, which is a fun little piece, and then we're going to do our closer, which is Cirrhosis. And that is one of our newest songs that a lot of the riffs were primarily spearheaded by Mike, our guitar player, actually, with also Darren's influence on one of the riffs, So we're excited to actually see songs coming together in different ways too. It's not always the same, and that's our set. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
So now this is a special festival because it's not, quote unquote, just a cool music festival. This is all about raising awareness and also funds for Rosehaven, the shelter. And you already mentioned, Kelly, that the Portland scene is very healthy. There's a lot of cool music coming out. There's a lot of Portland bands that seem to really be engaged in the community as well. And I know that's important to this band as well. So walk me a little bit through why it's part of the DNA of this band to give back to the community, to raise awareness for social issues. Because sure, every band that has a little bit of punk in their DNA has some of that, but not everybody makes it really part of the identity of the band these days, right? We're no longer in the 70s when it comes to punk music. Walk me through how the band looks at that, and also, is that something that is kind of like just no need to talk about it, just it was always going to be like that, or is that really more conscious with Thrash Course?
Do you have anything to say? I have a lot to say.
No, I think that you should take this one.
So I think that just by dint of us being, a female-fronted band, not only that, but a lesbian-fronted band, it's like, it's my existence is political, unfortunately, and right. I'm not the only person in our band, that's not just, a heterosexual, white person. Like we have other marginalized identities in our band, so it's like just by dint of us not all being straight white guys, I think we, whether or not you want to, people look at you away, make assumptions, or have feelings immediately. Like just walking down the street, somebody might hate you because you
right.
look different, right? It's like, we live in Portland, which is a nice little bubble. So, but it's like, and so it's easy to forget when you step outside that like shit's still bad a lot of places. So something like this, I think, I was really excited when Alexis put this together last year, the Femme Fatale Fest, because this is only the second year, and now it's 2 days already, which is very, very cool. And I'm like so thankful that we got onto the bill, and so appreciative of Alexis's work and like making it focused to be around Rosehaven, which is a day shelter for women and marginalized genders. It's like, I don't know, it is kind of baked into Portland. I feel like there is a real sense of community where there's not a lot of competition here. Like there's friendly competition where it's like, oh man, because when the music's so good, you are fighting for crowds a little bit, but that's the only real fighting. Like I mean every shirt on this wall here is a local band. Hard Pill is my favorite band. Sorry, I mean Thrash Course is my favorite band. Not really. It's Hard Pill. And like those guys are so sweet and make a point to like really reach out to people, and we've gotten opportunities from so many bands here because we all just want to help each other and help the community we can. I think there's been so many times where it's like, yeah, we get paid for the show, but like let's just kick it back to the venue, or let's give it to the bartender, or like whoever, or if there's a band that's traveling in town, or we know somebody needs it more than us. I don't know, we just like it just kind of comes naturally. I wish we had some more organized focus, honestly, just because it's promotion can be hard, and because every band is like a work, not a working band in the sense that we all do band full time and band is the work. We're all people that are with full time jobs, typically outside of the music, and so having that time to do the social media thing, to do the promotion thing, is like really tough. So there's actually a new production company. This kid Ryan, he's not a kid. He's like 24, but anyway. I love them. They started a new production company called Blood on the Roses with Andrew from Ominix, which is an excellent heavy prog band here. And this other guy, Tyler, who I haven't met yet, but they're trying to really organize and hone in that, almost 200 heavy bands to get that structure. So hopefully we can do more things like this, more intentional fundraising for specific organizations, but especially the hardcore scene here is amazing, and they're constantly doing little independent things like that, right? Like, so they'll do a house show for Gaza, or like a house show, like there was under the Speed's Auto Body, the Burnside, I think it's the Burnside Bridge. Oh my God, if I get this wrong. Anyway, it's a big overpass. We under the overpass of I-5. They just set up a DIY show there, and it was like a trans healthcare benefit, and it was like 10 bands. They just did it, man. And it's just like, I don't know, that is happening here all the time, and it's really special and cool. Again, did I answer the question? I'm sorry, I kind of lost myself there.
You did. We know that at some point, whenever Kelly finally finishes her vocals, we'll have an album. And before that, we're going to have this really cool show at the Femme Fatale Fest. Besides those two things, Amitai, what else is coming next? Like, what's on the horizon? Like, let's say if I were to ask you in a year from now, like, hey, was the last year a success? What needs to happen between today and a year from now?
I think we want to write some new material and put out another album. It's like we're just getting started. And we're always like Kelly said, it's a struggle to make everything fit. We want to keep playing shows, because if you don't keep playing shows, then you lose your touch on the pulse of what's going on. And we're all working and all of that stuff. We want to finish this album, but the music has to be created, and the debut album, it has a few songs that I've been working on for a long time, and so I feel like a lot of bands have that sort of head start with the debut album, and then for the second album, there's this sense of urgency, but I definitely, here's the thing is that it's going to take some time, because I don't want to be one of those bands that just puts out an album because it's time to put out an album and it's not nearly as good as the first one, and I'm also excited. I want more songs. I want to have more variety when we play. I want to be able to play longer sets. Kelly and I have a fun conversation about that going on.
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
I appreciate the short set, but I appreciate the long set. And I'm wondering if there's people. But anyway, so second album, but it's going to be a while. I think that the next goal is not the second album necessarily, but the next set of songs, 5 to 8 new songs that are complete that we can throw in the mix. I think that, and the more you have, the more permutations you can have, the more types of shows you can put on, and I think that just 5 to 8 more songs will give us so much more flexibility in what we can do, so I'm just excited to, I'm very, very excited that the first album, that most of the work is finished, so that it will come out, and then that gives us space to work on the new material. It's what I love to do, and Kelly mentioned, like, the money aspect. I just do this because I love it, and I want to have an opportunity to try to make a splash, make a little bit of sort of an impact on how people feel at this particular time in their lives. Maybe people are feeling like the world is a little bit unforgiving, or that they're getting older or something like that, and they're losing their taste for life. Maybe, I just want to help people feel that again.
Awesome. And you're right, like almost every band that I've ever interviewed, which are a lot, will all tell you the first album is, at the end of the day, it's a compilation of your best stuff of the first decade of a band playing in bars and knowing what's right, and then all of a sudden that second album has time pressure and you have to come up with something quick. So it's a tough one, but I know the whole team will enjoy the ride to get there. But first we have the band play at Femme Fatale Fest. And so everybody in the greater Portland area should go and check that out and support all the work that's being done for Rosehaven, the shelter. Kelly and Amitai, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Very insightful conversation, and I hope the show goes fantastic, and can't wait to see some content from that show as well. So make sure that we get some recording there. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and enjoy the build up to this show.
Thank you so much for having us, Jasper. Oh my gosh, I feel so famous.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, we really appreciate it.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.